Good day, Minecraftians. Purple Mentat here with the start of a new series on a pack that I have been extremely excited to get going on. FTB Infinity Evolved Skyblock. Why am I starting now and not, 6 weeks ago when everyone else was going with it? Because I wanted to wait until you guys could play along and join me on the patron server if you so choose, which is now already up and running with Infinity Evolved Skyblock. Let's get going. When you spawn in on a server, you're going to be on a giant platform of bricks. Assuming the client can load. We believe in you. Okay, so apparently the minions have been working on decorating this spot a little bit. I see that you've been busy, folks.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I like the giant mushroom and the little benches. This is really cool. Of course, you've also made it possible for people to hurl themselves off of the edge on the spawn platform. So, if you're on a server other than this one, your spawn platform will not look anything like this, but the actions are still the same. You're going to need to get a server admin, one of the ops, to type in island, create, and then a name of whatever your island is. I'm going to make a Purple Mentat island. And then they're going to need to have you're going to need to join that island with /island join, and then the name of whatever it was. And then it is highly recommended that you hit up... Oh, you know what? I need to change this out of cheat mode. There we go. It is highly recommended that you open up your chunk claimer and claim the chunks around you. It will tell you how many you're allowed to claim. In this case, 1,000 chunks and 50 loaded is the default. I believe that's correct, right? That's the default. So I'm going to just claim and load a small area around where I'm at now because I know that I'm going to be building out into it. In multiplayer, you are started with some spawn eggs, which is very kind of people, a chicken stick from X-Compressum, but the thing that we're going to be spending our time with at first is oak saplings and bone meal because, well, you don't get much going for you at first. So it's really just a case of grow tree, punch tree for a while. Now, Skyblock mode of Infinity is always, or Infinity Evolved, will always be in expert mode. There is no non-expert mode. Which means that you're going to have to deal with the fact that everything is super grindy. You're going to want to get to automation as quickly as possible, and you're going to not want to waste time doing things manually if you can possibly avoid it. I mean, it took our entire first tree just to get a crook. From here, I'm going to spend some time expanding this platform slightly, getting myself set up with just a little bit of area that I can work and actually not worry about falling into the void. That's going to be done simply by making planks, turning them into slabs, and putting these slabs on the bottom of the dirt. I'm going to go out 2, which is going to take a few trees to do, because I like to have a nice 2 slab lip around whatever trees I'm growing, and I want to grow my trees on the corners. Get those put down now, so that hopefully some of them can grow on their own, and I won't have to spend as much bone meal. This will probably take me maybe 20 minutes worth of bone mealing and punching trees to get a little bit of wood collected up, so that we can get started with more interesting tasks. Back soon. That went even faster than I had originally planned. As you are growing and punching down your trees, don't forget to crook the leaves, because you will get apples, which is not actually what you're after, but you will also get far more saplings, which is helpful, And most importantly, silkworms. You're going to need string. In fact, in not very long, I'm going to be creating a whole bunch of string. I want to get myself more of this wood taken care of first. But yeah, I need just a little bit more because we're going to need to get our hands on some crafting slabs to be able to move where I want to. But we definitely need to get string, and that's what the silkworm does. How you use your silkworm is you get your tree grown, and then you right-click on one of the leaf blocks with said silkworm. There we go. You would put it right here, and as you can see, it becomes infested. When these are 100% infested, it will spread the infestation to other leaves nearby, and when you crook it down, you have a very high chance of getting string. Well, maybe, yeah, I think very high is accurate, and a fairly high chance of getting more silkworms. So I'm going to, well, basically, all there is at the start of an Ex Nihilo skyblock like this is getting your trees, punch more trees. Also, one thing that we can do is we can get a couple of barrels made. They're not super cheap, but we're going to want a few of them out there in the world as soon as possible, because who knows the next time it'll rain, and we're going to need 3 blocks of clay. There we go. Unfortunately, that sets me back on the whole collecting wood issue, doesn't it? Resource scarcity. Gotta love it. Gotta. No quests in Infinity Evolved Skyblock. What you do get is a guidebook here. Tells you how to get started, where to go for the tech tree, where to go for the magic tree, and has a collection of tips and that sort of thing. I like the few time gates there that they warn you about. Pure Certus quartz crystals, and takes 16 hours real lifetime to create, and machine frames and iridium, as well as other higher tier materials, can take a long time in assembly table to create. Yeah, you're gonna need more lasers. Anyone who's experienced with Infinity Expert Mode will understand the kind of grind that we're going to be dealing with, except now you also need to create all of your resources through Ex Nihilo. Well, at least at first. There we go. Alright. I'm going to get back to punching more trees and collecting the wood that I need, because I want to get onto a cobble gen as quickly as possible. We want to start getting real materials, and we want to get, if we can, we're going to rush right forward into getting our monster farm built right here in episode 1. See you soon. Alright, with 53 oakwood slabs and 12 crafting stations in slab form, made by putting 3 crafting tables in a row, 6 at a time, it is past time for us to get a cobblestone generator going. So, how are we going to do that? Well, like so. We are going to use our oak slabs to provide us a nice, safe place to build from. We are going to do our best to keep this server friendly. And what that means here is that we need to contain the water and lava flows so that they do not go spilling off into the void. Leaf. We're also going to infest our trees while we wait. Let those guys, while we're building, it'll give those guys some time to turn into what we need them to. This is probably the most dangerous portion of the entire time that you're going to be on this skyblock, because it is when you are most at risk of falling into the void and dying, with items that are otherwise relatively irreplaceable. Alright, so we're going to go like so. We're going to start filling this in. I'm going to put one right there. And we need there there, 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 there. Now, over here's where we're going to need those crafting station slabs, because these are not flammable. They also cannot be put on the bottom half. You need to keep a 3x3, basically the 9 blocks immediately surrounding your lava block, filled with blocks that are otherwise inflammable. No, that's not right. That also means can burn. Blocks that can't catch on fire. There we go. And the reason that we have... Block that one off. Yeah, this should work out just fine. Now, what's going to happen is Minecraft liquids will always flow towards the closest... Why is this not flowing? Bad water. There we go. It needed a solid block underneath it, or it was going to keep trying to flow down. They will always attempt to flow towards the nearest drop, as it were. Which means this drop off right here, and this drop off right here, in this case. And the lava is going to do the same thing once we have a slab underneath it. Now, this flowing lava can set this oakwood slab right there on fire. We're not going to worry too much about that because we can get ourselves a pickaxe very, very quickly by grabbing up some gravel. And I believe that we'll be able to... can we easily get flint out of gravel in this pack? No, I'm thinking of a different pack. But we'll be able to take that back and start punching it to get the flint that we need. And as you can see, we'll keep getting our gravel blocks there. As soon as we can, we're going to want to start getting proper tools so that we can start getting cobblestone and turn this thing around. Because we need to get ourselves in a position... Oh, wow. That was generous. I got a couple pieces of flint already. That's fantastic. Go ahead and grab ourselves some wood here, because now we need to get into Tinker's Construct as soon as we have that first bit o' flint. I am so tired of punching trees. I am so happy that we're going to be getting into Tinker's already. Unfortunately, Tinker's is expensive because it's going to cost... Basically, it takes 1 log to get those 2 sticks and another log for the 2 planks to make a single blank pattern. And we are going to need... we're going to need 3, 4, 5 patterns before we can get our first pickaxe. So I'm going to punch some more trees, and I'll be back in a moment. Alright, we've got all of the patterns that we need. If you find yourself in possession of too many slabs and not enough planks, you can easily turn your slabs back into planks without any loss. So, important note that. We're going to need a stencil table, we're going to need a tool station, and we are going to need a part builder. And I like to make the stencil table into a slab and put it right on top of the part builder. It's just a habit I picked up way back when in Agrarian Skies, I think is the first time I did that. It'd been a bit. We're already starting to get some strength, which is good because we're going to need an awful lot of it for what I'm planning. Never enough crooks in the world. By the way that I am able to click and drag and have things move is by using a mod called Mouse Tweaks. I have added Mouse Tweaks to my version of this pack, well, my instance of this pack. If you would like a small tutorial on how to do that yourself, let me know in the comments below, and I will show you how to add it on both the Curse Launcher and if you're using the FTB launcher. There we go. So, stencil pattern in here, we're going to need a tool binding and a pickaxe head. And I tend to make the, oh, not the tool station. Those go into the part builder. Pickaxe head has to be the flint, and I tend to make the tool binding out of wood because we're going to need a stick anyway so that we can actually put the tool together. Head, tool, binding, 1 flint pickaxe. Yay, now we can start getting a real building material. Unfortunately, it's not exactly quick, but you can stand right here. There we go. Oh, and I double checked. It seems that the lava spread happens from the lava source block. So, not a problem. Nothing over here can catch fire. I'm pretty sure. But as soon as you have a little bit of cobblestone, or if you want to mine a whole bunch more wood, that's your other option, you're going to need to take a bit of a harrowing journey because it's time to go for a dive. Remember, we're trying to keep this server friendly, which means we need to go down 2. You can poke your head out the side to get a breath of air if you need it, so that we can have a place for this water to go and stop, like so. Oh, come on. Breathe. Thank you. Fine, we'll just build off the side and then up. Don't worry if you fall. You can easily guide yourself back into the water stream without too much trouble. And as soon as you block off one side, the water will stop flowing to that side. Like so. And then you've got a nice, safe platform to block off the other. The big issue is getting that last one. Unfortunately, I might have made life more difficult. Ah, there we go. That's the angle I need. And now we're no longer sending a column of water down into the void. Pink wool? I don't even want to know. Yet we still have a drop-off for the lava and the water to flow towards. And that took 8 cobble because I was vastly inefficient. So if I want to go straight from this to my usual monster spawner, I would pretty much need to stand here smacking this piece of cobblestone for the next couple of hours so that I could get my hands on enough cobblestone to be able to build my giant Tower of Doom. Instead, I think what we're going to do is we're going to build a small dark room where we can make a few monsters spawn, and we can instead kill them by hand for now until we have a more automated process for this. Also, as soon as that those tree leaves are done infesting, I'm going to tear down all that string and see if we have enough to start some real resource generation. I certainly hope so. While I'm off camera, I'm going to go ahead and make myself new tools, a shovel and an axe. Well, yeah, I think I'll go with a shovel and an axe. I'm not going to make the mattock this time because I actually want everything diggable to be diggable, especially since we're going to be dealing with quite a lot of gravel in this pack. Alright, I'll be back soon. Hooray, we have rain. Rain will fill up your barrels full of water, which is great because you don't have a bucket yet. With some water, we can take our chicken stick, the hammer from X-Compressum that you are started out with, which, by the way, when you break blocks, has a chance of spawning a chicken. Crack these into sand, crack the sand into dust, toss the dust into the water to get clay. We're going to need this clay so that we can make ourselves some tools that'll be useful. This is more of like a parallelization thing, because we're not actually going to be able to make direct use of this quite yet. We need to get a bucket first, and we can't make a clay bucket in this pack. But what we can do is use some of our leftover bone meal, 7 of it specifically, to make porcelain clay, and use that porcelain clay to form an unfired crucible from Ex Nihilo. Oh, you know what? I don't have... Oh, actually, I have cobblestone slabs. There we go. To make a regular furnace, requires compressed cobblestone. So instead, you just want to go ahead and make your slab furnace, which you can make with your regular cobblestone, apparently. Huh. Thought it still used the compressed. And we're going to get that crucible cooked up with, I don't know, a couple of saplings. How much burn time do I need for a single item? Well, coal and charcoal burn for 1600, so 200. There we go. Now, this crucible, when placed over a hot fire, like that block of lava over there, will be able to melt our cobblestone into lava. We're not going to be able to get the lava out of the crucible until we have a bucket, but that's okay. We don't need to get the lava out just yet. We just need to start it working, because as you can see, it doesn't move extremely fast, and we want to have lava ready for us when we get there. So, what's the path towards getting ready for the lava? Well, unfortunately, that's going to require a fair bit of manual labor. Fortunately, if you so choose, there are some things that can speed you along the way. First things first, we're going to make what is called a sieve. A plain old, regular, normal, boring sieve. We're not going to make any of the special ones, but we will have one of those in the near future. To make a sieve, you're going to need 2 silk meshes made from 9 string each. And I can't spell. S-I-E. And you're going to need some oak wood and some sticks. Which I don't actually have the oak wood yet. Oak wood planks, that is. Bam. Now what can we do with this? Well, once we have it placed in the world, we can take some cobblestone, not cobblestone. Well, actually, you might be able to do cobblestone. I know you can do smooth stone. I haven't double checked. You're going to be able to take gravel, sand, and dust and run it through the sieve. Unfortunately, you're stuck to doing that by hand at the moment. This is going to be a newer, better source of flint, as well as a number of other things. If I take a look at what we can do with gravel, hit U for uses, and scroll to the left until we find the Ex Nihilo sieve, you can see that this is going to get us broken tin, broken silver, broken copper, all kinds of broken ores, which we'll then be able to put together into, oh, hey look, the rain's gone. We can then get it put together into a ore gravel, which we can then smelt into an ingot. Or, well, you'll see. We've got some plans. But first we need to get to that bucket, which means we need to get at least 12 of that iron ore, that broken iron ore. Now, cracking all of this cobblestone one at a time is going to be slow and annoying. The other option you have is to make yourself what is called a compressed stone or wood hammer from X Compressum. It uses 9 of the hammers of the appropriate type. A stone hammer being made with a couple of sticks and a couple of cobblestone. The compressed stone hammer will let you hammer compressed cobblestone. But you're going to lose efficiency doing so. Let me see if I have what I need to get one of these together to show you what I'm talking about. There goes all of my wood. That's okay. And... oh darn, I can't do the up click while holding and dragging from inventory tweaks. I guess there's limits after all. So if I were to compress these 9 cobblestone, set down the compressed cobblestone in the world and smack it with the stone hammer, I get 13 gravel back. Huh? That doesn't make sense. No, I did some earlier. So, for example, if I were to take this gravel, that's 9 gravel, hammers into... oh, okay, so this is 1-to-1. That's great. That's actually fantastic news. That gives us 9 sand. So that will speed things up considerably when you are going, for example, from gravel to sand, or however you're working on it. And it can do normal hammering, but you're not going to want to bother because that is going to use durability, and your chicken stick has no durability to it. It's actually a good bit faster. So I would recommend Honestly, the easy way? You're at very little risk right now. I'd recommend you check out the mouse keys tutorial on this channel so that you can set it up to run. Well, that's a dead chicken, and now I have some feathers. Yay! And go get yourself a coffee, make a sandwich, have a drink, something. But this is a very dull process that is going to take a little bit of time, and you have a way built into Windows and Mac. I don't know the Mac option, but I do know that it's built in to hold down the left button while you're not there. Otherwise, you can always use the tape or the, heavy figurine automation and hold the button down that way. Anyway, once we have a whole bunch of gravel, we're going to take that gravel over here to the sieve, and I'm going to turn it over to right-click mode, and I'm going to point myself at the sieve and start it going, and, go change the laundry over, or fold something, or, I don't know, maybe actually interact with my family briefly. No, that's not going to happen. All right, I will be back once we have the materials we need. See you soon. All right, I'm glancing at the time and I'm seeing that we're not going to get to actually making the monster spawner in episode 1. We'll have to settle for cobblestone and basic resource generation, but there is one last thing that I can show you before I take off. If you set yourself up in front of your cobblestone and go off and make a sandwich, you might come back and find yourself with 9 or 10 stacks of gravel thanks to this infinite durability hammer that they're nice enough to start us with. And doing that all by hand, well, that's going to take just as long as it took to break, so maybe we can afford to sacrifice a bit of efficiency and gain a little bit of time by making the heavy oak sieve, which is going to take heavy silk meshes, which are 4 silk mesh. Here we go. There we are. And the heavy oak sieve works with compressed gravel, but is not quite as efficient as running it through the regular sieve. For example, if I were to make another chest, because I'm completely out of inventory space over there. A chest takes 4 logs to make. That's just criminal. And deposit everything that I could get out of gravel. And then a little bit more. And sieve one of these compressed gravel. You will see it does take about the same amount of time as normal, but I only got 1 flint and 1 broken tin out of it. With the heavy sieve, you have a chance of 5 times chances of getting each of the drops. So basically that means you are using 9 items to get 5 items worth of output. But it will go significantly faster than trying to run 450 gravel through the regular oak sieve, or even 250 gravel, since you're going to be stuck with 5 times the output instead. This is especially most useful when you are looking at being able to automatically generate the gravel, and that's what we're going to be focusing on getting towards next time, because if I'm going to have to build that giant gravity tower, which I think I should, then I'm going to want to start auto-generating cobble as fast as possible and not mess around with mining it all by hand. So I hope you have enjoyed this introductory episode to the Infinity Evolved Skyblock Let's Play. If so, leave me a thumbs up, tell me what you liked. If not, leave a thumbs down, tell me what you didn't. Either way, you want to see more of this series or others like it, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time.